This title is not clickbait, it is completely true. I'll be going to Airliners International 2023 in Dallas, Texas. So yes, I just got the tickets yesterday. This is totally like a last minute deal, but I got some pretty cheap flights to Dallas. And what better way to celebrate with the unboxing of the Gemini Jets Sun Country 737-800. We'll get back to that later. We'll first start with the details of our trip. I will be doing a day trip on the 24th. That's the Saturday, the last day of the convention. So I'll be heading out there on Sun Country Airlines and their 737-800 most likely. Probably not their one 737-700, considering that's been doing flights in California for the past like half year. So Sun Country, I'll be heading down to Dallas, and that flight departs MSP at like 7:50 a.m. or something like that. So it's gonna be an early morning, but it'll be well worth it. I'll get to Dallas, have like 4 hours at the convention, which will be very exciting. So I'm excited to hopefully meet some of you guys there. I know some people who are going, and well, we'll try to figure out a way to meet up. I'll probably like send out just like a post saying what I'm wearing if you want to, say hello. But yeah, it will be very exciting. I'm very excited about it. 4 hours at the convention, then I'll probably just stay there until it closes, and at that point I will head back into DFW and do some spotting. Considering I'm flying into DFW, and since it's right there, it'll be very easy to just transit between the terminal and the hotel. Sun Country flies into Terminal D, I believe, but I should be able to take the train around to the to Terminal C, I believe, which is where the hotel is. But yeah, we'll definitely do plenty of spotting from DFW. That'll be one of the largest airports that I've been to. Not going to be at Atlanta, of course, but I haven't spent too much time in Atlanta, and I'll get about 3 hours of spotting at DFW, which will be very exciting. And then flying back, my flight back is like at 7-something p.m., and I'm getting back to MSP way late at night, like past 10 p.m., so it's going to be a long day, but it will be hopefully well worth it. I'm super excited to go out there. Airliners is one of the things that really only learned about it last year for the Chicago one, but I wasn't able to go last year because of the Latvian Song and Dance Festival, which was here in St. Paul, and it would be kind of difficult to do that and be in Chicago at the same time. But this year, it worked out that I can make it out for one day, and I'll be there. So that'll be very exciting. Hopefully I'll be able to make the trip out next year to next year's Airliners, wherever that may be. But this year, I'm very excited to head to this one. I know kind of last minute, and I definitely would have liked to prepare more for it if I would have known that this option would have been available earlier. But I was just looking at flights, and I saw like a really cheap flight to Dallas. So I ended up getting that as soon as I could, and well, here we are. So I'll probably not be buying any more models up until then, just to try to save up as much money as I possibly can for the convention. So yeah, expect a massive unboxing. Of course, I'll do a video at the convention, and then we'll see what from there. We'll probably do at least one video of spotting, maybe a live stream or something like that. Who knows? We'll definitely do something fun at Airliners and at the DFW airport. So yeah, stay tuned for that. June 24th is the day that I'll be heading out there. If you're going to be there that day, yeah, feel free to say hello, because I will be there. And it should be a very fun experience. It's something that I've been wanting to do ever since I heard of the thing. And I mean, after seeing the videos of the Chicago Airliners and the promise of what the Dallas one could be, I am very much looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll have enough to supply plenty of models for myself, and also among other items, but I also don't want to buy too many things because I didn't pay for any upgrades on the Sun Country flight, so hopefully whatever I get will be enough to fit into my carry-on. But gonna pack lightly since it's only a day, and it will be a very fun experience indeed. But let's get these Sun Country planes out of the way, and we'll get my new one, This one will complete my Gemini Jets Sun Country collection. So now I have all 4 Gemini Jets Sun Country planes. So this one is the 2013. Oh, it says 2012. I believe it was 2013 though when this was released. The Sun Country 737-800 here. Here we see the model inside, and then the flap. This is purchased off of eBay, and this is really the only normal Sun Country plane that I have, considering all my other ones have either like special liveries, or not really special liveries, but kind of unique liveries, or a unique aircraft, or a retired aircraft, or have non-normal wings, like this one, which doesn't have winglets, or this one, which has scimitar winglets, and they only have 2 that have scimitar, and they only have 1 that does not have winglets. So this will be my first like regular Sun Country plane. Still hoping to find like the NG models, Tide Pod livery, but that might be something to buy at Airliners. But we'll see. I have some models that I definitely want to try to get there, but guess we'll just focus on unboxing this one for now. And here it is, the Sun Country 737-800 by Gemini Jets, and hopefully that's not tail heavy, and it might be tail heavy. It's not. Okay, that was just sitting funny right there. May not be the best spot here on my MSP table to set this down on. Maybe a slightly tail heavy, but you can stand it up properly here. If I don't lean it that way, you can kind of set it up. It's a bit touchy though, so it wouldn't go this way because the table's angled down a little bit on the edges there, but it will go like this. So I guess that's a thing to note about this one, but still happy to have the model here. And we'll get into the review. We'll be reviewing the right side instead of the left side, which I always do, but that is perfectly fine. So here we have the cockpit windows up here. We have the R1 door. And we have the blue Sun Country S, which is no longer on their current livery, of course, and actually wasn't even on the aerial text font livery. If you look at that one, that was one of the things that they removed in that disgusting livery. Hopefully Sun Country gets rid of that one because I don't like it. And it kind of just gets rid of all of this, which made the old livery look cool. Also, another thing that made the old livery look cool that they got rid of is the nose here. As you can see, it kind of forms like, it looks like it's kind of like a runway on a sky. At least that's how I've seen it. It's probably a bit easier to see like in person. Of course, this model is used. There's a little bit of paint chipping on it, so you can't really see it very well. But they got rid of that and just made it a straight line going across on the aerial text font livery, which is not like as great in my opinion. So they definitely removed a lot of the flair that this one had. But these are still flying around. Plenty of these are still flying around, including this one, which we'll get into the backstory of this one later, at least how it relates to my flying experience. Here we have these Sun Country titles up here in white, and then we have our overwing exits and exit paths down the wing. We have our engine here, which has a logo on it, which I can't read, but we'll see if the iPad can focus on it. It looks like the Rolls-Royce logo, but I don't think it is, because that's not a Rolls-Royce engine. That is a CFM 56, and I guess that's the CFM logo, but I mean, it kind of looks like the Rolls-Royce logo, but that wouldn't be correct. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but that's definitely the CFM logo, not the Rolls-Royce. We have our leading edge slats and the detail on the wing. And here we have our flaps as well, detailed on there. And then here are the winglets, which always look a little bit weird on the old 737 molds by Gemini Jets, but they do their job quite well, as you can see. They have the Sun Country logo on them, which is not wanting to focus. Maybe if I do this strategy, but I think you get the idea. You can kind of see it there. And it has the same thing on the other side of the wing, but it won't focus. So we're gonna move on from that. And then, yeah, pretty much back here, it's just all that royal blue color. And here we have the American flag and the registration, November 809 Sierra Yankee, Boeing 737-800. Now, this aircraft, November 809 Sierra Yankee, this is the exact same aircraft that I flew to Cancun in my recent trip to Mexico. This was the exact aircraft that I flew down there, which is really cool to see. Yeah, that shocked me too, honestly, because I didn't know when I flew it that this was the aircraft, but when I saw this model, I realized that this was the same aircraft that I flew on. I saw it on eBay. I knew I had to snatch it up. I was already going to snatch it up, but you know, that just further solidified the choice to purchase, just because it's an aircraft that I've flown on in real life, and there are only a few of those that I have in my collection that that I know for a fact that I've flown on in real life, and this being one of them. That is very cool. The other two that come to mind are the Frontier Cubby the Bear by Aero Classics and Delta Thank You, of course. But I don't know of any others for certain that I have flown on in my fleet. There are probably some others out there that I've flown on, considering that I have a decent resume of flights that I have taken, but maybe not. So this one I can confirm I have flown on this aircraft in real life, so that's really cool. And then here we have our landing gears down here, which do not roll, but this model is from 2012 or 2013, so that's not very surprising, and that's not any fault of Gemini Jets. But speaking of Gemini Jets, we have the Gemini Jets logo standhold down there. We also have our luggage doors here and here. No aerials on this aircraft as well. That wasn't part of their mold back then. But here we have our R2 door, and then we have the Sun Country logo on the tail, which is different than their new one. If I bring in the new Gemini Jets Sun Country 77800 here, and this is where, honestly, I prefer this mold, because I mean this should be here, but Gemini Jets screwed up this one a lot. So that's not our focus here. We're focusing on the logos. As you can see, this S is kind of sharper on the edges here, and this one is a little bit more bold, which is a difference in the logos, which is very interesting. Also, the color of blue is slightly different. I believe I mean, they are different liveries, but I believe they are the same blue, and I think this one is more correct. Although I do believe that this blue might be a little bit too light, as the other one from the 2001 release might be a little bit more accurate, although that also looks a little bit dark, so I think this looks a little bit too light, this looks a little bit too dark, so they're both very nice models, though, by Gemini Jets. And yeah, so Sun Country is going to be well represented now. Remember back at the beginning of the channel when I started doing these MSP airports, and I had the Shapeways Custom Sun Country 737-800, and I had the Darren Sun Country 737-800, and I had this DC-10. Yeah, we've grown the Sun Country fleet a lot, and it is a lot better now than it was even just a year ago. So here's the full Gemini Jets Sun Country collection now. I have the full Gemini Jets Sun Country collection from the whatever 2000 release, DC-10, to the 2001 release. I actually don't know if that's 2000. It was somewhere around then. The 2001 release, 737-800, the 2012/13 release, I'm still not quite sure, 737-800, and then the 2023, or is this 22? It doesn't matter. I think it was January 23. So that's it for this collection of the Gemini Jets Sun Country aircraft. Yeah. Now I have, 8 Sun Country models, which is, yeah, it's got to be worth something. I mean, MSP, of course, since this is like our hometown airline, got to have a lot of them. So Sun Country, they're a great airline, not the best airline, but you know, I have a soft spot for them, even though they're not the best. They represent Minnesota, okay, I guess. They've transported me a lot, especially over the past few years, and I mean, they seem to be ever growing. So Sun Country, they're doing better than ever right now, and great to see them represented in my fleet as well, with these aircraft, and also the NG ones and the Panda model ones as well. But yeah, that'll do it here for this video. Can't wait to see you all at Airliners. That's going to be an amazing experience, I'm sure. And of course, I'll be flying there on Sun Country, so maybe I'll be able to fly on this aircraft again, but I'm also hoping that I'll be able to fly on one of these Tide Pod liveries for the first time ever. But we'll see about that. And that's also going to be my first time flying alone, so that's also another fun experience. So I'm of age this year, so that will be another experience to behold. But yeah, that'll do it for this unboxing of the Sun Country Airlines 77800 and the trip announcement to Airliners International. Stay tuned for the next MSP update, as you probably already saw some of it in the background of this video, but I'm going to be recording it pretty much right after this video, so yeah, stay tuned for that one. That one should be probably coming out tomorrow or the next day, but we'll see about that. But yeah, that'll do it here, so good night und auf Wiedersehen.